What's going on, everybody? Me and my wife here and my child, we're doing a little inquiry. And what's the question? What's the question you wanted answered, babe? What?
I want to know why people do not care about self-help. Like, why don't they care to help themselves?
I feel like there's a lot of potential answers, but as a collective, I think a lot of the issue is that we put on a front for a society or a certain, you know what I mean? You want to blend in, you want to fit in wherever you are. So you try to build a persona around that. And then self-help comes along and it basically punches you in the face and it says, you're not who you've been trying to be. Let's take a step back and be this. We fear that. We fear that change. We fear being wrong. We fear, looking bad in front of people, having to go back on our words. We fear. So ultimately, I think the answer is fear. Fear of what? Fear of change. But, there's the small singular fears also that, I don't know, have to be factored in. But I've definitely thought about the same thing. Like, why don't people take self-help more seriously? Why don't people... I don't know. Why don't people really want to change? Like, to me, that's...
Yeah, but well, here's the thing though, because I used to be a person that, and still sometimes, I don't like change. I go to fucking Texas Roadhouse and I order the same thing, but, occasionally now I change and I'm like, well, this looks different. I'm going to order this, whatever, but like, I was one that didn't like change at all. Like, it was because, obviously, well, my personal, experience was because when something would change to get me out of my comfort zone, I didn't feel comfortable. So, that the whole comfort feeling is something that I wanted to keep or whatever. Or like, I was scared of judgments on others if I did something different and I messed up or whatever, having that judgment from other people, like that was a big thing. Or it's just the fear of the unknown. Like, that's still one that I struggle with today. Like, the unknown, it can go one way or the other, or you just don't know, and so I can't control it. And so it really dwindles down to a whole lot, but not a lot of people like to change, and that's why it's just, like you said, it is a lot of fear.
A lot of fear.
But
change is hard.
It is.
It's scary to admit, to admit that you're wrong. There's a whole list of fears that come along with that. But why, it still doesn't answer the question, though. Why don't people take self-help seriously?
Because it's hard work. Why? Okay, it's so easy and to be lazy. It's so easy not to have to work your brain and, dig into yourself and find, things that you would never even find if you don't dig into yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's so easy to watch something that is 10 seconds long and is of somebody tripping and falling or whatever, than to take 10 seconds to look at what you just said to one person and dig into yourself. It's just, it's so much easier not to work your brain.
Yeah.
So why
more of that, like, passive consumption instead of, like a positive consumption or creation. People would rather sit there and scroll. That's why I've never been on TikTok before, because I feel like it's my competition. People get 10 seconds of just like a dopamine trip. Boom. You know what I mean? Like, so you keep chasing that. It's like chasing the dragon. The dopamine trip. It's my competition because I don't really give you a whole lot of dopamine. I give you strategy, I give you perspective, I give you opportunity. But this is probably the most exciting video I've ever had, and it's just because we're all sick in bed and in our heads. It's crazy. I might have to incorporate some more of that. But yeah, so this passive way of living that we've become a subject to in this easy society, it's potentially going to be our downfall because we build this life of comfort we don't want to change. But the fact is that evolution is ever evolving, and if you stay with the times, history shows that you don't survive. As a species, evolution has saved us and has kept us going. We're just now at a comfortable place in society that we think we could stay the same, but in reality, you can't do that. You are still ever changing. No moment is the same. You are not the same person. You might as well face it head on. You might as well.
Yeah, but you could say that.
Yeah, but
that's up to that person, though.
yeah, it is ultimately up to that person. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I got a lot. I did have something I wanted to say.
Okay.
I forgot.
What's up?
I was thinking, is it because people are scared to unlock their fullest potential?
But why would that be? Why would you be scared to unleash your fullest potential? I mean, that sounds kind of exciting. Sounds kind of...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it sounds exciting and it sounds good, but what if you're scared to unlock? I don't know. Like, so you don't feel that way?
I feel like I strive for it, but I do feel like I'm kind of like an outside the box person as it is. You know, for the social norm, maybe they are scared of that, but I just don't understand that paradigm, I guess. So push on that more. Like what?
Well, let's see. Well, because I feel like I kind of understand in a sense of that, or else I wouldn't have said that. So I don't know. I guess I don't know necessarily if it's. I don't necessarily think it's the part where you have to, where you're there, where you have unlocked your fullest potential.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't necessarily think it's that, because that's great, and you know, everybody should strive for that, you know, and everything, and everybody talks about that. But it's getting there, I think, is
It's a transition. It's
yeah, everything you're gonna have to go through to get there. You know, so it's playing it safe, staying the way you are, because you know it's you're gonna have to go through some stuff in order to unlock your fullest potential.
Right.
And
which
so,
I think is the journey of life.
It definitely is, and I feel like that's why we're here. But you know, within all of this, I feel ties in like. I feel like, what am I trying to say here? I feel like all of this, you know, unlocking your fullest potential, being scared to change, and, you know, all this stuff, like, it all ties into self-love.
Definitely.
Definitely.
At the deepest level, definitely.
Because, I mean, you have to, you know, in order to unlock your fullest potential and, you know, change and be, you know, that you want to be, or whatever. I mean, you're going to have to go through a lot and do things, and it's going to test your self-love. It's going to, you know, that's why we go through a whole bunch of stuff now, today. Like, everybody is going through really huge, tough times right now.
Yeah.
Like, and there's obviously a lot of reasons for that, but it, you know, every day you get tested, your self-love. Are you gonna, you know, continue to, you know, put yourself last, or are you gonna put yourself first, or, you know, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna love yourself in every day and then express that on to others? Well, that's my goal anyway.
That's your goal?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big goal of mine. Yes, to love myself to the full capacity. The one, not feel any codependency on anyone or anything, and then express that onto others, and just give love to any and everyone and everything. That's one of my huge goals. That's all I want to do is just spread love, but I can't do that unless I feel all of that within myself first, and I have to find that.
Facts. So, is it safe to say that people don't take self-help seriously because they lack self-love? Accurate or inaccurate statement? I feel like at the core, that's the answer. I think that's the answer. People don't take self-help seriously because they do not they
don't love themselves enough.
Yeah, they don't love themselves enough.
Yeah.
That real, unconditional, pure, wholehearted love. We do not have that for ourselves very often. And that should be everyone's number one goal. I mean, really.
Yeah, but everybody sits there and they say that I love myself. You know, if you ask somebody,
yeah,
do you love yourself? They're like, yeah, I love myself.
But then you start digging. You start asking about things. You start pulling out insecurities, flaws. And in reality, you see that you very well could have a self-hatred for yourself instead of a love for yourself.
And that's scary.
That's a sickening just factor in life. That's why we're all as ill as we are today. Isn't that beautiful? I think that's all we have today. Signing off. Appreciate you. Appreciate my guest today.
Much love.
Yep, much love.